All right, so let's talk about the huge development this morning for Epic Games. So unfortunately, I saw a bunch of tweets before the official announcement, but Epic Games was reported to lay off 16% of their employees. So I was scrambling to figure out why or what's going on with this. And then there was an official post from Epic Games themselves. So apparently from what I've read, Epic Games is holding some kind of meeting today regarding this mass layoff. So it looks like Tim Sweeney has sent a memo out to Epic employees, and this is what he said. So I'm going to read you the memo, and then we'll discuss it, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and a lot of things where people just want to know what's going on. So this is what Tim said. He says, "Hi everyone, as we shared earlier, we are laying off around 16% of Epic employees. We're divesting Bandcamp and spinning off most of Super Awesome." I have no idea what that sentence means right there. Then he says, "For a while now, we've been spending way more money than we earn, investing in the next evolution of Epic and growing Fortnite as a metaverse-inspired ecosystem for creators. I had long been optimistic that we could power through this transition without layoffs, but in retrospect, I see that was unrealistic. While Fortnite is starting to grow again, the growth is driven primarily by creator content with significant revenue sharing, and this is a lower margin business than we had when Fortnite Battle Royale took off and began funding our expansion. Success with the creator ecosystem is a great achievement, but it means a major structural change to our economics. Epic folks around the world have been making ongoing efforts to reduce costs, including moving to net zero hiring and cutting operating spend on things like marketing and events. But we still ended up far short of financial sustainability. We concluded that layoffs are the only way, and that doing them now and on this scale will stabilize our finances." And then there's a paragraph about Super Awesome, but again, I can't remember what that is. So we'll skip that one. We'll go down a bit. It says, "Saying goodbye to people who have helped build Epic is a terrible experience for all. The consolation is that we're adequately funded to support laid off employees. We're offering a severance package that includes 6 months base pay and, in the US, Canada, Brazil, 6 months of Epic paid healthcare. We're offering to accelerate people's stock option vesting schedule through the end of 2024 and are giving 2 additional years from today to exercise the options. In the US, we're also offering to vest any unearned profit sharing from their 401k, and will provide benefits including career transition services and visa support where we can. For those still at Epic, you'll hear more from senior leaders about the path forward for your team. Epic's prospects for the future are strong. We have amazing game experiences across multiple platforms. We've built the best engine in the world, and we will be hosting Unreal Fest next week to bring the community together and spotlight the things they are building with Unreal Engine and UEFN. Creators are making a living building for the Fortnite ecosystem, with time in third-party games now exceeding first-party. We're cutting costs without breaking development or our core lines of businesses, so we can continue to focus on our ambitious plans. About 2/3 of the layoffs were in teams outside of core development. Some of our products and initiatives will land on schedule, and some may not ship when planned because they are under-resourced for the time being. We're okay with the schedule trade-off if it means holding on to our ability to achieve our goals, get to the other side of profitability, and become a leading metaverse company." Tim. So that was a lot to comprehend, and like I said, I'll talk about it in a second. But on the official Epic Games website, in addition to posting that message, there's also a frequently asked question part. And there's some good information in here, so let's take a look at this. So the first question is, what does this mean for Epic's priorities? We are still focused on shipping our must-succeed initiatives, the next Fortnite season and Fortnite Chapter 5, Del Mar, Sparks, and Juno. Their schedules remain in place. So this is huge because this talks about a lot of upcoming things in Fortnite. So Epic labeled these as must-succeed. So they're already talking about the next season of Fortnite. They're talking about Chapter 5, which confirms that. Del Mar is the upcoming racing mode. If you haven't heard about that, Fortnite is doing this huge racing mode. They're putting a lot of effort into it. I heard it's going to be like Mario Kart. Sparks, a lot of data miners didn't know what that was a code name for. But according to G Matrix Game, he says Epic is working on a new cosmetic item codenamed Sparks. Currently, all I know is that it will have its own subset of cosmetic types, as Sparks is a parent type. So nobody really knows what that means, but it's in the must succeed category, so it must be huge. And then Juno is the code name for the Lego collaboration. So despite these layoffs and despite the money issues Epic Games apparently is having, all of these are still scheduled to go and are still scheduled to must succeed. So that's about the only good news I've got for you in this video. The fact that they're still working on the next season, Chapter 5, Del Mar the racing mode, Sparks, no idea what that is, and the Juno Lego collaboration. So then they said, we aren't cutting any core businesses and are continuing to invest in games with Fortnite first-party development, the Fortnite creator ecosystem and economy, Rocket League and Fall Guys, and services for developers. And then it lists a bunch of things there. So then it says, what was the scope of the layoff? So here's an exact number. It says, we are laying off around 830 employees, or 16% of jobs. About 2/3 of the layoffs were in teams outside of core development. Then it says, will there be more layoffs? And the answer is no. These changes financially stabilize the business. The entire goal of this process was to make our cost structure more sustainable, and we believe that we have achieved this. Then it says, will Epic continue hiring? And it says, yes, we will continue hiring for critical roles while maintaining net zero at our new size. And then it says, what about Project Liberty? We've been taking steps to reduce our legal expenses, but are continuing the fight against Apple and Google distribution monopolies and taxes so the metaverse can thrive and bring opportunity to Epic and all other developers. Oh man, speaking of Project Liberty. So if you don't remember or you weren't playing Fortnite back then, pretty much it was Fortnite or Tim Sweeney and Epic Games versus Apple. They went after Apple and they lost a boatload of money. And they even referenced that here to legal fees and stuff like that. And then in addition, if I remember correctly, he went after Steam, and I think he's trying to go after Google as well. So these are ginormous companies. Yes, Epic Games is big, but Apple and Google? That's like trying to fight Mike Tyson and Bruce Lee in their heyday. You don't want to mess with those guys. So I have no idea how much money Epic Games actually lost due to trying to sue Apple, but I gotta believe it was hundreds of millions of dollars. And that is one of the things that probably would have saved all these layoffs if we hadn't have gone after Apple. So that's one of the things that can account for the layoffs. There's two others that I can think of. I don't see a lot of people talking about this, but the Epic Games Store is just hemorrhaging money. So I personally don't understand this either. I don't know what they're trying to achieve with the Epic Games Store or why it's losing so much money. But in the first year of Fortnite, and we know this because of the Apple lawsuit, it was revealed, Fortnite made more than $9 billion in revenue in its first 2 years. $9 billion with a B as in boy. And in some of the charts that were leaked from the Apple and Fortnite lawsuit, it showed in 2019 the Epic Games Store brought in $233 million in revenue. So that sounds pretty good, $233 million just from the Epic Games Store. However, in expenses, they spent $465 million in 2019. And again, I don't know how or why, but we spent $465 million and we only made $233 million from the Epic Games Store, which means we lost a boatload of money. So if Epic Games had just stuck to Fortnite, not spent all this money on the Epic Games Store, and not sued Apple, they would have literally saved hundreds of millions of dollars and probably not needed these layoffs. So that brings us to the bigger point here. According to Tim Sweeney, Fortnite is spending more money than it's earning. And a huge portion of this money is going to creators. So I obviously am a creator, but I don't fall into that category. It's talking about Creative 2.0 UEFN. Fortnite is giving up to 40% of earnings to creators in UEFN that create maps. Again, that doesn't apply to me who makes videos. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people that create maps in UEFN and are getting paid boatloads of money for it. And I can show you the proof of this. This chart right here. This was posted by Hypex way back on June 1st. So this chart shows you that 5 people, I know it's not a lot, but 5 people in the Fortnite community that make maps in Creative 2.0 UEFN make $10 million plus. $10 million a year. So that's 5 people times 10, that's $50 million that Fortnite is paying people to make maps in Creative 2.0. 13 people are making $3 million, 43 are making $1 million, 106 are making $300,000, 220 are making $100,000, and onward. So that's a lot of money going to creators in Creative 2.0. So one of my followers on Twitter, his name is DefaultsBR, he posted this. He says, Epic Games layoffs explained. Fortnite is becoming a user-generated content game, and its growth depends on creators making UEFN experiences. Fortnite is spending more money than it's earning. Fortnite growing means more money is giving out to UEFN creators, as we just showed. Fortnite gives out a huge portion of that money to creators. We just talked about that as well. Cutting costs happen by laying off 900 people to save money. Fortnite admits that creators are much more beneficial to the ecosystem than what Epic is spending creating it itself. So in Epic Games' mind, Creative 2.0 or UEFN is the way of the future. And they've expressed that several times. So more attention is being paid to that, less to other things, including Fortnite Battle Royale itself. That's why we've had less marketing, less live events, things like that, because it's all being focused on UEFN. And so a lot of the 16% of people that got laid off were actually creative people. You've got public relations people, marketing, social media people, art, game designers, community managers. Epic Games apparently says there's no need for these types of jobs if the game is being carried by user content, i.e. people that make maps in Creative 2.0. So I've been laid off before. I know how it feels. It's absolutely devastating. I saw one of the people being laid off said he just bought a brand new house. They had no idea this was coming. A lot of my friends and contacts at Epic Games were laid off. People that reached out to content creators and helped us build our brand and helped us do things in Fortnite and things like that were all laid off. These were some of the nicest people ever, absolutely bamboozled by these layoffs. It's so unfortunate. Donna Mustard randomly retired out of the blue. Then we had a price increase in V-Bucks and real-life money packs. Now we have 16% of Epic Games employees laid off. 3 major events in an extremely short amount of time. But according to Tim Sweeney, everything is okay now. This is what it took to stabilize the Fortnite and Epic Games economy. So we'll see if that holds true. But this is some major change. Now, do I think Fortnite's going downhill or will be ending soon? No, absolutely not. This is not the end of Fortnite. So a lot of people are saying that on social media. Yeah, Fortnite's going downhill. It's game over. That's not true. Does it stink that 16% of Epic Games employees just got laid off, mostly due to Creative 2.0? Yes, absolutely. Do I think people should be making $10 million in Creative 2.0 a year? No, absolutely not. Have you seen some of the maps in Creative 2.0? They're terrible. Some people are only doing it to earn that money and they're making some horrible maps, but lots of people are playing them. So, I don't know. But there you go. That is why the layoffs happened. In my opinion, number one, it's due to Creative 2.0 and, like Tim Sweeney said, paying more money than they're actually making to people that create maps. You gotta believe that the Epic Games Store, as I mentioned, is contributing to this. They're spending more money on it than they're making from it. And then obviously the Apple lawsuit didn't help at all. Lost a ton of money in that. The FTC lawsuit, I forgot to mention that. That was where Epic Games had to shell out $245 million for some, quote, shady business practices. So all of these things combined, that's why over 900 people got laid off today. So my heart truly goes out to all those affected by the layoff. Like I said, some amazing people. I worked with some of them. I knew some of them. It's just absolutely devastating. And the fact that it was out of the blue just makes it that much worse. But there you go. Hopefully I explained this well enough. I don't know a lot of things myself, so you're going to have to do a little more research, but I tried my best. Hopefully I made it a little bit understandable. So there you go. That's all there is to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. A like is always appreciated. And don't forget to use my Support-A-Creator code, which is tabortime.